Ah yes, New Zealand, the land of hobbits and huge mountains. I am really excited for this adventure, and I'm really happy that you're here with us.
This is part 1 of our New Zealand adventure.
For the longest time, I've been wanting to do a road trip throughout New Zealand. In a rental car.
Where are we, Memo?
We are in Auckland.
Signing our life away.
Yep. It'll be worth it. Although renting a car in New Zealand may not be the most economical way to get around, there is nothing quite like the freedom of the open road.
So there was a learning curve. We had to learn how to drive on the left side of the road, and so Memo was actually driving on the right side.
Correct side, on the correct side.
On the correct side.
Left side.
The driver's side is on the right side, and we're driving on the left side of the road. So there was a learning curve. We had to get used to that, but you know, as time goes on, Memo's becoming better and better. He already was very good at it, but he's just getting more and more used to it.
One thing that you'll see a lot of are one-way bridges, especially in the rural parts of New Zealand, of which there are many. First few bridges were unnerving, but after that, you kind of get used to them. As an American who has driven on the left side of the car and on the right side of the road my entire life, I thought that driving in New Zealand took some concentration at first, but after a while, you definitely adapt and it becomes the new norm. Also, having a co-pilot and Google Maps open definitely made the transition easier.
On our first day in the North Island, we went to this beach, and it was super secluded, and the weather was absolutely beautiful, and we just had fun embracing the moment and sharing the same excitement for being in New Zealand.
We were trying to figure out which national parks were within driving distance of Auckland, and one thing that stood out was Coromandel. It looks like a beautiful national park with these rocky, small islands off of a green coast, and it looked very picturesque.
We took a 45-minute hike down to Cathedral Cove, and it was an excellent way to kick off our first night.
Good morning. It is December 16th, and it's about 7 in the morning, and we are headed to Matamata to go to Hobbiton.
Going to the Shire!
Woohoo! We've been really looking forward to this for the whole trip and the whole time that we've been in New Zealand, and we really can't wait. So what we're doing is we're going to Matamata, and then we're going to take a bus to Hobbiton, and it's a tour that we signed up for. It's about 3 hours long. Then we'll take the bus back to Matamata, and then we're going to Tongariro to do some hiking.
After a short bus ride into Hobbiton, I was amazed to see how fantastic the gardens were. It was really neat because there were hobbit holes and beautiful little movie props all over the set.
Going on an adventure.
There were hobbit clothes hanging around, there were little benches, there were little wheelbarrows with pumpkins in them. It all really recreated the magic of the Shire.
Throughout the tour, we learned a lot of interesting and cool facts. And one thing that I thought was fun to know is they constructed a tree made out of fake leaves it took them about a year to make it. Except when it came time to film, Peter Jackson didn't like the color of the leaves, so they actually had to change the color of the leaves after about a year's work.
We're headed to the Green Dragon. Going to get a drink.
But he was so particular when making the film, and it really comes through when you watch the movies.
One of my favorite parts about the tour is that we actually went to the Green Dragon, which, as many of you probably know, it's a famous pub within Hobbiton. So we had some drinks there, and I was really blown away by the craftsmanship within the pub itself.
After Hobbiton, we hit the road to continue our Lord of the Rings themed day, and we set out to hike Mount Doom, or also known as Tongariro Alpine Crossing. We're hiking Tongariro National Park.
Alpine Crossing.
Yeah, Alpine Crossing.
Men are in high spirits, despite a giant cloud on the horizon. At first it was a little bit disappointing not to see the full grandeur of Mount Doom, but we quickly learned that the hike up in and of itself was extremely beautiful. Also, the wide-angle lenses for much of this footage really don't give the scale of this place any justice. It was huge and it was gorgeous. Captain's log. It's starting to rain. The men are in low spirits. So I'm going to recommend that we turn around. Continues to rain on the party. However, the saddle to which we are trying to make progress has cleared up. So it's a little perplexing because even though the clouds seem to be disappearing, the rain seems to persist. The expedition is on hold for the time being. First mate, do you have anything to add?
Nope. It's still beautiful, and it's amazing because the rain is actually bringing the colors out even more. So it's so pretty. There's always a silver lining.
There's First Mate Jacqueline.
I'm still alive.
She is still alive.
Soaked to the bone.
She looks like a wet mouse.
Water in my shoes. It's still alive.
Still alive. North Island and driving throughout North Island was a pretty defining experience for our time in New Zealand. Not only did we find the landscapes just absolutely gorgeous, but the ubiquity of Maori culture was also very eye-opening.
We had such a lovely stay in the North Island. We loved seeing the sheep and the hobbits, and it was a great introduction to New Zealand. We were looking forward to hopping on the ferry and heading over to the South Island. And I think I can speak for ourselves when I say the Southern Alps were something we couldn't wait to see.
I'm gonna get chocolate biscuit.
Chocolate biscuits? What about chicken biscuits?
Into the mouth of the ferry. Oh God, hold on.
I can't see!
Hold on, this is probably not a good time.
So today we're going to the Hobbiton.
Hey, you don't get teeth like this for nothing, yo.
So we're going to Hobbiton, and I'm really excited because we're going to
Mount Doom.
Mount Doom.
We're gonna go see Smog.
Jackie's really excited. She even put on her retainer today.
Wait, hold up. Let me take my teeth out.